How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Hawkins Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka Soul review video for today. This time for this new episode for the series, this is going to be my review on the 2021 biographical comedy drama sports film, and that is The Phantom of the Open. This is directed by Craig Roberts, and this is basically a biopic of Maurice Flintcroft, who in this movie is played by Rylance, who managed to gain entry to the qualifying into the British Open Golf Championship in 1976 and shot the worst round in the British Open history. So that's pretty much the simple plot synopsis for The Phantom of the Open. Now, I never knew much about the whole true story itself because this wasn't really a familiar true story that I was very familiar with at all, really. But for when this movie was about to come out, I did see the trailer for this film when the trailer for this movie just popped out of nowhere for me. And once I saw it, this one did look pretty interesting to me, since this is a golf movie, and I have seen a few movies that involve golf and all that, which most of the ones I usually see are just like comedic ones and all that. But like I said, this one did look pretty interesting because you had some talented names in this film, like Mark Rylance, Oscar winner, which he's a great actor, Sally Hawkins, which she's a great actress, and Rhys, which I think he's a talented actor. And this movie did come out in my area in March of this year, and I went to see this on opening day. And from my screening, from what I remember, it really wasn't much of a full house though. But there was a few amount of people on my screening for the showing that I was at though. But after watching this whole movie, I can definitely tell you guys that I had a great entertaining time with The Phantom of the Open. I could definitely say this movie is really charming and really entertaining here from beginning to end. For Mark Rylance's performance as Maurice Flintcroft, I thought he was great in this movie, and he's also really entertaining in this movie as this character who knows nothing about golf, like he's never played golf before in his life. Like, we get to see him train quite often in the film. He tries really hard, but he's not even that good at it. And once we get to see him participate in the championship, it is really entertaining because, like I said, he's not really that good at golf. And of course, he makes history for making the worst shot round in the British Open history, which is really fascinating and all that. Which we'll talk about the story in a few minutes. And this film doesn't really focus a lot on him playing golf. It's not the biggest point where this film just mostly focuses on him playing golf. No, it doesn't really focus a whole lot of that. It also cuts back to his home life, like with his wife and his kids, and we see how that aspect of the film plays out, which I found that pretty interesting. And for Sally Hawkins' performance as Maurice's wife, I thought she was great in the movie. And you've got Rhys in the movie who plays this guy who he's in charge of the British Open Golf Championship. He was pretty good in the movie, and everyone else I thought they gave pretty good and entertaining performances. And the story is pretty fascinating on like how all this happened and all of that. Even though I'm not very familiar with that story because I never researched before seeing this film, because I went to this film with a fresh open mind, know nothing much about it. But after watching this whole thing, I found it really fascinating and really entertaining of like how all this happened and all of that. And there are some fictional stuff in the film which I didn't really expect while I was watching the film, and it did kind of let me a bit distracted and all that because I didn't even know what kind of story it's set out to be as, if it's supposed to be a real life or like a real non-fictional story or fictional storytelling and all that. It did kind of left me a bit distracted and all that, but still though, the whole true storytelling for this film, I really did found it fascinating. And the direction by Craig Roberts, it's a well-made film for its style because it is set in the 70s and 80s, and I liked how it showcases all of that here because it will definitely give the viewers who ever watch this film, it will probably give them a call back to those who probably knew the story of Maurice Flintcroft when he made history of becoming, the worst professional golf player in history and all of that. And also, when it comes to its humorous moments, the humor in this film is pretty entertaining and charming, but this film really doesn't really focus a whole lot on humor because it is a dramedy. This film, it does have some heartfelt, heartwarming moments and all that, while having just a few humorous moments here and there. And the humor is not like flat out slapstick or anything like that. No, it's just mostly lines of dialogue, which some of them did land for me, while a few just didn't really land for me whatsoever and all of that. But in the end, guys, The Phantom of the Open, I can definitely tell you guys I had a great yet entertaining, charming time with this one. And it's definitely another really good golf movie. But I wouldn't see this being like a classic or anything like that over the next few years. But this still is a great entertaining watch. And if you do know about the whole true story itself, if you do like movies that involve golf or you found out the cast, I can definitely say this one would be a good cup of tea. And if you missed a chance to see this in cinemas, it is available to stream on any app of your choice. So that's pretty much all I have to say about The Phantom of the Open. I'm going to give The Phantom of the Open 4 out of 5. Again, as I said before, this is definitely a really charming yet entertaining film, and despite having a few nitpicks I had with this film along the way, I still managed to have a great time with this one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After I Saw review on The Phantom of the Open, and let me know what you think of this movie if you have seen this already, if you just recently checked out this movie. Did you have a great time with this, or was this not really a cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Hawkins Media Corner signing off.